What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Feed Your Fat Face podcast. I am your host, Aaron, along with my buddy Kevin. How's it going, man?
It's a good week. It's rainy, so I'm kind of meh.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I do better in the sunlight myself. So.
Yeah, it's just muddy and rainy and gross out for 4 days now.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of hope on the horizon for that either.
And it froze for 4 days before that, so yeah, it's just kind of. Anyway, I'm good, but
we're going to talk food, man. We're back to talk about food. We've got kind of a different episode that we're going to get into in the heart, but one, I will tell you that since we started the episode, this is the one that Kevin has been the most excited about, and so I'm excited to dive in and talk about that too. And this one, so Kevin can research, like Kevin can gather facts.
Yeah, I can do that. But I genuinely have to check myself to stay out of the rabbit holes.
Yeah. You don't want to fall. You try to not fall into total conspiracy theory nonsense.
Yes, and look, anything that we're talking about with this today it's stuff that if I hear it somewhere, I turn around, I shut down wherever I heard it. So if it was on Instagram or whatever, I shut it down and I immediately get on DuckDuckGo or Google and I search it.
DuckDuckGo is the conspiracy theorist's website because it doesn't track your.
Well, there's some things I don't want, like throwing off the algorithm on Google.
Sure.
And I don't want it just coming
or to
back.
land you on an FBI watch list. I get it. It's fine. No questions here.
So, I when I hear about, hey, there's this ingredient that does this, or there's this thing that's about this, I try to immediately stop and search it.
Yeah.
I started doing it immediately because I was like, hey, I'm going to save that and I'll search them all this weekend. And the weekend rolled around and I was like, I can't search that much.
Well, we're going to put a pin in it and come back to that. I sort of went the other way this week and like all week long. So Kevin and I, if you follow us on the socials, we each individually have our own obviously private Instagram accounts. And then we co-manage the Feed Your Fat Face account. And I was just posting recipes to our boards all weekend with all the bad ingredients. I was
right.
So we kind of went opposite directions, but
nothing wrong with that.
Hey, let's revisit last week. So I want to acknowledge I was full of vim and vigor last week. I got riled up a few times. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry to the people of Manhattan. Their chowder is pointless.
Oh, it's not chowder.
It's not chowder. Yeah. Anyway, we don't need to go down that road again.
Anyway, and I do have a. Not a retraction, but I have an addition to make.
Oh, because you would never make a retraction. That's not in your.
I'd have to be wrong first.
Which is next time that happens, we'll clue you guys in.
Yeah, we'll let you know when the first time that happens. So I said, beans equals stew.
Right. You took some heat for that.
Beans go in stew. Beans go also in soups.
What
I should have said was just beans equal not chili.
Okay.
Because
you still would have been wrong, but you would have at least it would have knocked some of the heat off of you. I have thought about it since then. I've never had a stew with beans in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know it's not chili.
Yeah, it is chili. It is chili. When we showed up
14 years, I've been arguing with my wife about
when we showed up tonight and we were doing like our pre-show walkthrough. Kevin was like, I didn't take a beating as bad as I thought I would. I was like, yes, you did, dude. Your only defender was your mom. Like, that doesn't count when your mom is your baby boy's right all the time. No, you had a couple of other.
There were a few other in the carpool lane.
Yeah, one of my good friends from high school, she took your side for sure.
She was right.
Anyway.
Not everybody can be wrong with you.
That's whatever. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. The beans and chili. Yeah. What I didn't notice when it was happening, but one of the things that I think was one of our favorite moments was when I totally got worked up and wanted to fight you about chicken chili, even though you had just totally agreed with me from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I let you have out your first.
You did. You didn't interrupt me. Here's the thing. So I will acknowledge where my shortcomings are. Like, Kevin, I called him at one point in the show. I was like, he doesn't even care about being right. It's just, he's just going to settle in and get belligerent.
Right.
When I cross the line, mine's not belligerent. Like I'm not hearing you. I've made up my mind that we're fighting about this thing.
Right.
And we're just going to have the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So That was a fun.
Even when I was
moment.
standing on your side of the ring.
Yeah, I did back down really quick. Just
Oh yeah, you just
in the
yeah.
episode.
Oh yeah.
So that was fun. Anyway, that was
Last week was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of
And the interaction was so much fun.
Yeah, Hey, one of the things we're working on, we talked about our socials. One of the things that we're going to be adding to the repertoire that you can be looking for. Both Kevin and I are working on doing some short form videos during the week of, maybe some recipe videos, or just like you've seen some great follow accounts like the Red Bull Official, this girl from Canada that cooks, and it's just like 60 seconds of her putting together a dish. And so we're going to start doing some stuff like that. Yeah. So stay looking out for that. I'm kind of excited about that.
I ordered a meat box, a chop box.
Oh, yeah.
The Good Chop.
Yeah.
I think is what it was called. I recorded an unboxing of that.
So we're going to try to be a little more active over there, so you can be looking for that. But so here's what I understand that we have tonight. You tell me if I'm wrong. We're going to dive into
You're not always wrong.
I'm not. We're going to dive into tonight's topic, which by the time it's posted, we may have come up with a better name. We called it food discrepancy. One of the things that, I'll be honest, when we started doing this show, I was relatively ignorant of that you enlightened me, is there is a huge discrepancy between the ingredients found in an American product and their European counterpart.
Yeah, and not like our whatever chips and their whatever chips that are similar.
Right. No, it's like
the same brand.
The same brand, same branding. And so we're gonna dive into that a little bit, and we're gonna talk some about what is behind it, and what, if anything, we need to do about it. So that's one part. And then we got some food news to talk about. I've found some funny stuff to dive into. And then I've heard that there's a surprise.
Yeah, we just have a cool fun way to wrap up the
episode. So
now, one thing about the show, I didn't go through and make visuals. There's plenty of these online.
Yep.
And so the ones that I pulled that we'll be putting up and flashing during the show and all that are from an account called The Food Babe on Instagram. Vanny Hari, I believe is how you say her name. New York Times bestselling author.
You can look right here, and it will be right there on the show at this point.
Okay.
So you just look for that on Twitter or on Instagram.
All right.
And then we are going to put some of these pictures, we'll overlay this episode with.
And then some will be posts.
Some will post throughout the week. I will tell you, and it's worth the follow just to see that, because I was blown away at some of the discrepancies we went through this week.
Just the seeing the ingredients list, the size of the ingredients list.
Yeah, it was really. In fact, Kevin had talked about it. What got me really excited about this episode is he had told me about it, and I hope this doesn't come out wrong. I was kind of like, is this one of those things that like is just a pet thing of Kevin's that he's blown up? But then you remember I found some stuff. I emailed you some stuff. I was like, holy crap, dude, I had no idea.
Right.
And so I'm excited. So we're gonna let Kevin lead us through that, and I'm gonna play the idiot because I am somewhat ignorant as to these things. And let's dive right in. So the first thing we're talking about, Euro ingredients versus U.S. ingredients.
Yeah, kind of an us versus them, us being the U.S. versus some other places. Because some of these will be UK, some are Germany, some are Italy, that kind of thing. But the things that stand out, I mean, when you just look at, like, Sunny D is the first one that we have on here.
Yep.
The things that jump out is, one, just the size of the list. It's half the size. But when you start reading through it, the things that you can't pronounce are all in the U.S. list.
Yeah, there's one that I would struggle with on the Euro list.
And then you see things, and we'll get into like specific ingredients a little bit later, but things like yellow 5, yellow 6, stuff like that.
Yeah, they use things for coloring like on the Euro, like beta carotene, which is the compound that makes carrots yellow.
Which I use drink mixes. I don't like drinking just water. And so I use drink mixes, but I only buy the ones that use beta carotene for color.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I do know that, like, when you're having, like, when your kids are little, they tell you, like, red dye number 5 is the worst substance you can put into you or your kid's body. That's why I'm drinking ginger ale tonight and not drinking my typical wild red 0 sugar.
But so we're going to go through there. There's Sunny D. There's the German version and the U.S. version of Kellogg's Fruit Loops. Again, with things. And on this one, this one's from Food Babe. And this is going to have some of the things that are banned in Germany are going to be in red on the U.S. side. So it's going to be like yellow 6, BHT, yellow 5, red 40, soybean and or cottonseed oil.
One of the first ones that really caught my eye, like that stuck out to me. But then y'all look at this, the McDonald's French fries in the U.S. versus the UK. Holy moly!
Yeah,
yeah. So vegetable oil.
So tell me, if you're a cook, you're a chef.
Yeah.
You're gonna make fries. What are you putting in them?
I'm cutting up French fries.
Cutting up a potato.
I'm sorry, cutting up a potato. I'm putting it in canola oil or whatever the oil I'm using, and then I'm salting them.
Yeah, and then you look at this list.
Yeah, canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, hydrogenated soybean oil, natural beef flavor to go in their French fries, by the way, which that's shady as all get out, dude. Why would you put it's
studied that their fries are addictive.
Right. So what's the pointing of the beef flavor? Is it to make you crave the burger?
I don't know.
Dextrose, sodium acid pyrophosphate, salt, and then it's fried in a vegetable oil blend with citric acid and dimethyl polysiloxane. How'd I do?
Which doesn't that just roll off the tongue and sound savory?
Right. Versus the UK version, which is potatoes, vegetable oil, dextrose, and it's fried in vegetable oil topped with salt.
It's a French fry.
I'll take door number 2, Bob.
Right. But
yeah, that blew me away.
Quaker Oats, UK versus US, Mountain Dew, ketchup. Now, look, nobody's surprised that Mountain Dew and McDonald's French fries and Sunny D and Doritos are not health foods. But it also doesn't mean they should be super bad for you.
Yeah, but to not be a health food doesn't mean that you inherently have to cause poisoning.
Right. And, another thing, so there's this another comparison. And on this one, it's, 9 products. USA versus UK. And it's
Is this
Sprite.
the calorie count?
Yeah, the calorie count.
This is mind-blowing.
Sprite, Dr. Pepper, Fanta, a McDonald's milkshake, if you can find a McDonald's that has a milkshake machine working.
Yeah, I'm just impressed that the UK has working machines.
Big Mac, large fry, a Starbucks mocha something or other, a Starbucks lemon loaf cake, and a Starbucks brownie. And it's side by side the calorie count for each one. So a U.S. Sprite is 140, a UK Sprite's 46 calories.
So you're telling me that there's 100 calories in that last 10 milliliters.
It's the whole thing. And so,
it's like running a marathon. It's that 0.2, like anybody can do 26. It's the 0.2 that puts you over the edge. If you had 330, that's only 46 calories, but those last 10 milliliters
they're stacked.
Calorically dense.
Very, very. It's kind of a
like
syrupy
concrete kind of.
Yeah. That's gross.
All joking aside, it is syrup.
But it's hugely eye-opening. And there's a few things like the Big Mac, it's 540 to 508. It's a negligible, difference.
Here's the thing that's interesting. I would be inclined to go, well, yeah, but is it the same end user experience? So you guys can make fun of me all you want, and people usually when I say this, but my family, we travel a lot. Mm-hmm. I've been to, I think, 12 countries, and when we travel internationally,
we talked about this last year.
Yeah, towards the end of the trip, we always find a McDonald's wherever we're at,
right?
Because it just feels like home. And so I will tell you, I've had McDonald's in Ireland and in London. I've had McDonald's in Paris and in Belgium, and it's not like it tastes as good or better.
So it's a little bit of a break, and then you go back and you go back to eating this McDonald's,
right? But what I'm saying is you don't notice
you can't tell.
Yeah, it's not like they're suffering and getting a lesser product is my point.
Okay.
They're getting at least as good, maybe better.
Well, definitely not as bad for you.
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting.
And so
I don't drink Starbucks internationally. I'm just like, there's good coffee, man, in the rest of the world.
I don't think Starbucks is good coffee, but that's a whole.
But we've had that talk too.
Yeah. That's a whole different thing. I really thought the visual that you would have talked about was the small, medium, and large sizes.
I was getting
size comparisons.
Yeah, that one was like, whoa.
It's so not only is what we're eating not as good for you,
but we're eating a lot more of it. Here, take a look at this picture. This is There's a 400 milliliter, so one over double the size, small to small, almost twice the size, medium to medium, and exactly twice the size, large to large.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. I want to know who's getting a large that size on the right. Is that a McDonald's large? That's like humongous.
That's what it looks like.
Is that really what I get out of the drive-thru?
I think so.
Wow. No wonder I'm fat. Look at the size of that thing. You also mentioned on here some of the stuff that we're going to pass off. But there's a talk about Roundup being found in Arby's.
Mm-hmm. There are some independent labs
I was really disappointed to hear that.
that do third-party testing.
Because the beef and cheddar is delicious.
Hey, you're not going to get any weeds.
I was going to say, so could I just throw beef and cheddars about my yard and kill weeds?
I don't know if it's that much. The one thing I didn't include, and I think I might throw it to you after the episode, is there was a thing that came out. They took a bunch of strawberries, just a thing of strawberries.
Please tell me that strawberries are bad for you.
They are bad for you.
Oh, nice.
And they smashed them down, pureed them, whatever, and tested the juice of the strawberries, and found out there was enough pesticide in the strawberry juice to respray the field.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, pretty sad.
Well, let me ask this. There's one that we're going to share later in the week, the 10 disgusting facts about fast food.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, you and I both enjoy fast food.
We do.
I just probably...
We enjoy it more than we should have.
For sure. Man.
Which one stood out to you?
All of them.
I know the peanut butter one got you.
The antifreeze chemical compound in the salad from...
Yeah,
that was a big deal. I don't actually care about insect fragments being in my peanut butter.
No?
If they're ground up and I can't see them.
If you don't know they're there, then it's cool.
Yeah, I don't want to pull out a cricket leg or anything, but if it costs doing business, I guess.
Okay. I thought that would be the one that got you because I know you're such a peanut butter guy.
I love peanut butter. I want to eat peanut butter right now, as a matter of fact.
Well, we've been talking about peanut butter. The shiny candy one got me.
Shellac. Yep.
I was like that. Does that mean my table's delicious?
So one thing that I was actually really glad to see is I hate American cheese singles.
It's not really cheese.
Right. It's only 49% cheese. It's not even majority cheese. It doesn't even have a controlling interest in the product.
No, it doesn't.
So I was really glad to see that. On a serious note, as we pivot, as we get ready to pivot, I was going to ask, so what if we always strive for what's the why, right? So
yeah.
or what then? Why should we care? Obviously I do care, and I hope our listeners do, because this was really eye opening. Mm-hmm. Is really eye opening to me. What should the consumer response, or what should we do as educated?
I don't know what the answer to that is. I don't know broad what the we answer is. I know for my house, I've started ordering meat from Good Chop, which so far is fantastic.
By the way, this was a big deal. When I went a few weeks ago, I went to Aaron Franklin Barbecue. We'll do a review on that, and Austin, unbelievable. He actually has you and I talked about it. He has his beef raised to European standards. Nobody else in the U.S. can get a hold of him.
Yep.
It was the best brisket that I've ever had. And
you got to start with what it is.
Yeah, and that was his deal, similar to what you've done. Is he was just like, well, I'm gonna insist on a better product.
I picked the Good Chop box over the Butcher box or one of those others because there's several, and I'm sure they're all good. Butcher box is Australian, so it's born, raised, all that over there, and then it's frozen and shipped over.
Yeah.
The Good Chop box is Texas, and so that's why I went with them.
One of the things I think that we can begin to do, and I'm not suggesting that I do this, but as much as you can, stay out of the middle of the store. they say shop the edges, right? So hit the produce department.
Yeah.
Where if you don't know this, and I'm sure that you guys do, but in the produce department they'll have, and in the cheese department they'll have fresh made pastas and things that don't have the preservatives,
or have less of them,
Yeah. And so you can. That's one thing that we have done over. All joking aside, even in my home, we have tried to be a little cleaner with what we eat, and taking a notice.
Well, and here's the thing. We talked about it when we talked about diets a couple weeks ago. There's a cost associated with doing it. If you can't afford to avoid the middle of the store, you can't afford to.
Yes, and you shouldn't feel bad or guilty about that. That's not on you.
So I mean,
but as much as you can,
you want fresh rather than processed. You want fresh rather than packaged. You just want to try to. It's not easy to do, and I mean, reading food labels and all of that. What I did was I found people that I trust. I listened to. I mentioned Gary Brecka a couple times. Every time I see one of his videos, I stop the video and I go and I start researching the thing he just said, and I haven't found one yet where I'm like, yeah, he's totally lying.
See, I would blow right by that, but I always stop and listen to the guy who dimes out the stores and gives out their secret recipes.
Oh yeah,
Jordan.
Yeah. I can't call. I can't go with the last part of that, but Jordan.
Yeah, we should have him on sometime.
I think he would love that.
I'm gonna make you call him Mr. Stallion if he comes on. What do you say, Jordan?
I'm going to subscribe just for that. But yeah, I mean, so we're doing the meat boxes. We're doing most of our grocery shopping through Thrive, which is another online thing. It's like the wellness box or one of those. The things that they offer for sale don't include these ingredients.
Interesting.
And so there's a cost to it, though.
As we go through this week, we're going to put out, there is one of the infographics that we're going to put out there is, it can feel overwhelming, right? When you're just like, I don't even know what any of these words mean.
Completely.
And we don't want to send anybody into a tailspin.
No.
So one of the infographics is there are, you need to be generally aware, but there are 12 of the most dangerous things that you can be looking for. I saw that was in one of the things that you included.
Right. There's a dangerous ingredients list.
Yep. And so at the minimum, you can go, well, I'm going to start by just keeping my mind out for the, there's a dangerous ingredients list and then a 12 chemicals and additives consumed in America that are banned in other countries.
Right.
And so,
and here's another one that's going to throw you for a loop. I included one on here that is products that are now banned in California.
Yeah. I was surprised to see you go pro California.
So a red dye, another ingredient, brominated vegetable oil, potassium bromate. And apparently these go into effect in 2027, like step down up until that time.
I was also really excited to see, and again, we won't dive into this one, but we will post it. I was glad to see you post that the Impossible ground beef, Impossible Burger, is actually worse for you than just eating the red meat.
Okay, there have been several studies that show, like, vegans talk about how, you shouldn't kill anything to eat it. Growing vegan food kills everything around it.
Can I? Okay, this is an honest question on this just popped in my mind. With the Impossible Burger research, is it possible that in the same way we're accusing these other things, that, and I'm certainly not pro Impossible Burger,
sure,
but is it possible that the beef industry, that quote unquote big beef, is funding that research to kick the legs out from under a competitor?
There's absolutely that possibility.
Yeah.
Even if it is,
we just like red meat.
Yeah, I mean, red meat is clinically, it's been studied. Red meat is better for you, and so whatever. But even if this is funded by the beef industry, if they're right, the Impossible Burger, the whatever it is terrible for you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, even the what is it, the healthy alternative or whatever they call it,
yeah,
is a complete lie.
Yeah. So I guess the things that we would encourage you to do is just to be educated about it. You know, as we have said, the same thing we said in diets, don't just take our word for it. But if there's anything that we said today that you're like, oh, I never considered that, like do the research. It really is a fascinating journey to walk through and to see what's in there. Like Kevin said, research some alternatives because there are good alternatives out there. We did we did the meal kit and just recently stopped because our schedule changed. But we did HelloFresh, which sends you meal kits that same deal, avoid a lot of these, and they're giving you fresh proteins and all that good stuff. So look for some of those alternatives. But the big thing is just know that like you said, Kev, we're not able to. I don't have the power necessarily to go out and to change policy, right? But I can vote with my dollars.
Yep.
When I'm able,
and that's the only one that seems
it's
to
the only
matter.
one that matters. But I can be educated and go, okay, so even in this sea of confusion, I know that there are some things that are like extra bad,
right?
And I can look to avoid.
Yeah, and I mean you can kind of categorize like these are absolute no's. These are as little as I can, and then these are fine.
Yeah.
Hey, you make pizza a lot. You guys.
Oh, I do.
Night. How much sugar do you put in your pizza?
Oh, not a ton. Tablespoon, maybe.
Yeah, but so I found out in Pizza Hut UK versus US, it's 151% more sugar in the Pizza Hut pizza in the US.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. No matter what the starting amount was, that's a lot of sugar.
Yeah. Oh, that would, yeah.
If you went from 1 to 4.
My wife makes our dough fresh.
Yeah.
And so she uses the double lot flour, and it's mainly yeast, water, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, but only enough sugar to feed the yeast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a ton. Now, the one thing I will say, the US has beat the UK in Krispy Kreme.
Well,
the Krispy Kreme donut has 52% more sugar and that's what donuts are about.
That's what donuts are about. Send it through the sugar wall, please.
Exactly.
If you've never been to a Krispy Kreme, I recommend going.
I can watch that.
See. Oh my gosh, they'll give you a little hat to wear while you eat your free donut. You get a free donut just for going in.
Yeah. And it's a show. I mean, it's like watching saltwater taffy be made.
Yeah. Hey, do us a favor on this. Leave us your comments. We would love to start next episode by seeing kind of what your thoughts are. We wackadoos who are just looking for conspiracy theory? I don't think that we are. Or are we? Was this eye opening? But I would love to know kind of what were your thoughts or your reactions.
Yeah, and I mean we're neither one scientists or nutritionists.
Yeah,
this is just stuff that I found, and then they talk about a study, so I go check out the study. They talk about whatever, so I go check out that article or that.
And
journal.
they talk about a study, and I go get a handful of chips. So same, right?
We got some food news.
You ready to do that?
I am.
Okay, so item number 1, Applebee's customers are in an uproar after date night pass sells out in seconds, calling it the date and switch.
All 12 Applebee's customers are mad about that?
That was the first thing that I thought about. I'm like, who's going to Applebee's?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to love Applebee's.
Well, we're not getting into that. I don't want to offend a potential sponsor, but yeah. So Applebee's date night promotion. On January 22nd, they released a statement on social media saying that for $200, you can buy the Applebee's date night that gives you one date night a week for 52 weeks. And so it begins February 1st of this year and it ends January 31st of next year. And it allows you on each of those to order $30 worth of food totally gratis, right? Totally gratis. So it just...
Really?
So the math is you pay $200, you get $1,500 worth of food.
They're counting on you not coming.
They're counting on you not coming, and they certainly weren't counting on you buying that pass. They said it within 30 seconds it had sold out.
I can see that.
Yeah, sort of, except like how many customers are just chilling out at the Applebee's website waiting for the... I'll
Does
tell you
Applebee's
this.
have an app?
I would not pay. That's not a $200 investment for me. I'm just being serious, dude. I would not. Yeah.
What's the next one?
Watch out, Taco Bell. Wendy's rolls out new breakfast item,
Frosty
emphasis
breakfast
on
item.
the roll. Wendy's is expanding its breakfast menu to include a breakfast burrito, which the brand says is loaded with all the best parts of Wendy's breakfast menu. The burrito features 2 eggs, 6 strips of oven-baked applewood smoked bacon, which Wendy's points out is the same amount of bacon found on the Baconator, as well as seasoned breakfast potatoes, 2 slices of American cheese, a drizzle of Swiss cheese sauce, all wrapped in a tortilla, served with 2 Cholula hot sauce packets on the side. What say you to the Wendy's breakfast burrito? Yeah, dude. I'm just like,
Okay, here's
stop
another
it.
thing,
Like,
though.
just know your lane. This is.
I also don't eat Wendy's.
I don't anymore. I used to think Wendy's was pretty solid, but they've gone, in my opinion.
I haven't been to Wendy's in a minimum of 10 years.
I just don't need, like, you're a burger joint. Like, do a
Barely.
then do a barely breakfast burger. Don't try to do a taco, man.
You're on it, man.
I don't need that. Yeah, I'm really offending sponsors tonight. Here's my favorite one of the week. Oh, I didn't believe it was true, but it is. But Burt's Bees, you're familiar?
I am.
Burt's Bees. They, as a joke, made a small batch of ranch flavored lip balm, and then it sold out immediately. May have started as a joke, but they're laughing all the way to the bank. On January 17th, Burt's Bees and Hidden Valley Ranch partnered for a wild lip balm collaboration inspired by the flavors chicken wings. So the limited edition collection featured lip balm sticks in 4 flavors: Hidden Valley Ranch, buffalo sauce, crunchy celery, and fresh carrot. Burt's Bees emphasized on his website lip balms, though food flavored, are not for consumption. They're available while supplies last for $11.99, but the supplies did not last long, selling out in just a few hours.
I bet that was the big hit of the state fair.
Yeah, that may have been.
County fair, state fair, whatever. I think they probably hit a home run on that one.
That's incredible. I don't know what I think about that. Would you try ranch flavored lip balm?
No. And if I go in and that's what I come back with off of a kiss, that's unpleasant.
That's not fair. Your wife has kissed you before and come back with a flavor of ranch. It may not have been lip balm, but
you know what? Fair point.
Fair point. Yeah.
Fair point.
See, I'm working for you, Britt. Here we go. I guess now it's surprise time. Do I need to move I see you closed your tablet. Do I need to close my tablet for this?
You don't need to, but
oh no.
So you're aware of the Bean Boozled?
I am. Are we about to do Bean Boozled?
Kind of.
Okay.
So one will be vomit, one will be buttered popcorn, things like that. Mm-hmm. I am never trying that.
I'm so terrified. Okay.
But I did find this one. And so we'll show this to the good people.
Is this spicy? Fiery
5 layers, 5 levels of spice.
Okay. Am I doing this? Do I open it right now?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So am I to try one of each? Is that
I think we should try one of each and
right.
see where we fall with this.
All right. So I need to find the colors here.
So,
all right. It looks like there's a brown, a green.
So starting with sriracha,
a red, and an orange. Is there 5? I've got 4.
There's a sriracha, a jalapeno.
Oh, there's a red and a red speckledy.
Yeah.
Do I have 2 red speckledies, or do I? Oh no, this one here. Here we go. It's like a pink.
So there's
more like
pink,
a pink,
orange, green, dark red.
Are we gonna eat these in the same order?
Red speckled. Yeah. Let's see at the bottom which order they go in.
Okay. So sriracha is first, and that appears to be this pink guy here.
And then what do we have?
Pink, and then we go jalapeno is green, and then this brownish one is cayenne.
That's this one?
Yeah, and then habanero. Oh.
And then
Carolina Reaper. That's going to be fun.
So,
let's jump right in with sriracha. You ready to go?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
That's immediately hot.
That is unpleasant.
Oh my god.
That's not a little bit hot.
No.
And I really like spicy food. Holy cow.
This is the first one.
This is gonna go poorly from here.
That's hot all the way down.
It instantly tasted like a fresh pepper, and not in a good way.
Oh, I don't like this. This was a bad idea.
You did it. You did it. That was number one, bro. All right, here comes jalapenos. Not as hot.
No, that's actually kind of pleasant.
I'd eat more of that.
Here it comes.
That's a late heat.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
man.
You treacherous bastard.
That sucked.
That at least
Look at how red my
flavor
face is
to
right
it.
now. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Cayenne comes next. Hold on. Wait. I got to cleanse the palate. This is,
we're
man,
gonna.
this is not a good time. I would not recommend this.
This is a bad idea.
Okay, so let's cheers to
Cayenne pepper.
Cayenne. Well, it sure is. Just what you would expect a cayenne flavored jelly bean to taste like. Oh. I don't know why I let you talk me into this. Oh my gosh. It's because I didn't know it was coming. You just sprung it on me live. Oh my gosh. There's 2 more to go.
That doesn't feel good.
In honor of last week's episode, we're going to need some vanilla ice cream.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Oh, God,
the
this
runway.
is so bad, dude. This is habanero.
This is habanero, and
My tongue hurts so bad right now.
Yes, this is unpleasant. I am sweating now.
Yeah, I'm sweating. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is the habanero one. You ready? Here it goes. Oh, that sucks so much. I don't even have words. Are we doing the Carolina Reaper? Are we really doing this to ourselves? Oh, that habanero one is for real. Yeah. Whoo. Yeah, my daughter just said y'all are going to poop, and she's right.
Maybe here.
Okay, maybe here. Oh, why did we do this? We have one more to go.
My arms are sweating.
My nose is running. This is miserable.
This is.
I don't want this. I don't want this at all.
Go.
We've come this far, dude. It's the Carolina Reaper. Oh, wait, hold on. It is just like the pain is intensifying in my mouth right now. This hurts so bad. All right. One more time. This is the Bean Boozled challenge with the fiery ones. And we've done the first 4, which I don't know why, but we have. We're about to finish with the Carolina Reaper. It is beyond heat. It is physical pain on my tongue.
This is not good.
This is not good. You did this.
I did this. You're welcome. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, my God.
Balls.
Nope. This was a mistake. This was a lot of fun. I just got to end it. This is miserable.
We'll see y'all
see you
next
next week.
Girls hot, beers cold.